You walked into their lives like a soft breeze, gentle, warm, unassuming. You didn't demand attention. You didn't force yourself into their chaos. You simply existed, offering something rare, something unfamiliar: peace. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It didn't beg to be noticed. But it was powerful. And at first, they welcomed it. They let it settle into their world, drinking from the well of your calmness. They leaned into your stillness, your stability, your quiet strength. You became their sanctuary, the soft place to land when the world turned cruel, the steady presence in their whirlwind of doubt and destruction. You listened when no one else would. You stayed when others walked away. You gave without expecting anything in return. But there's something you didn't realize back then. Some people don't know how to exist in peace. To them, peace feels unnatural, unsettling, because for so long they've been surviving in chaos, feeding off drama, thriving in destruction. So when you entered their life, offering the opposite of what they knew, they didn't see it as a gift. They saw it as a threat, because people who live in chaos, they fear stillness. Stillness forces them to sit with their own demons. Stillness exposes the things they try so hard to ignore. And you, your presence, your peace, became a mirror, reflecting back to them everything they had been running from. And that was the beginning of the end. It didn't happen all at once. It started in whispers, a passive-aggressive remark, a moment of coldness that felt misplaced, a shift in their tone when they spoke your name. At first you ignored it. You told yourself they were just having a bad day, that they didn't mean it like that, that maybe, just maybe, you were imagining things. But deep down you felt it, the slow unraveling, the silent erosion of trust. And before you knew it, the very same people who once found refuge in your peace were the ones setting it on fire. They twisted your kindness into something ugly. They called it weakness. They took your patience and used it against you. They mistook your love for foolishness, your understanding for naivety. And suddenly, everything you had given so freely, your time, your energy, your heart, was being used as evidence against you. They made you question yourself. Were you too soft, too trusting, too blind to see what was coming? You replayed every conversation, every moment, trying to pinpoint where things went wrong. You wondered if you had been foolish to believe in them, if you had misjudged their intentions. But the truth is, it wasn't about you. It was never about you. Because some people will reject peace, not because it isn't beautiful, but because they don't know how to hold it without breaking it. They needed chaos. And you were never chaos, so they pushed you away. Maybe they betrayed you, maybe they abandoned you, maybe they made you feel like you were the problem, like your heart was too much, like your presence was a burden instead of a blessing. And for a while, you carried that weight. You let their words sink into your skin. You let their rejection shape you. You let their absence define your worth. You stood in front of the mirror, searching for the flaws they claimed you had. You questioned your heart, your intentions, your very existence. And for what? For people who never truly saw you? For people who only wanted to take from you but never give? No, not anymore. Because one day you woke up and saw the truth. You were not weak. You were never weak. It takes immeasurable strength to be soft. In a world that glorifies hardness, it takes courage to bring peace into a storm. and stand firm when the winds try to knock you down, and what they mistook for weakness was actually your greatest power. So you made a choice, not to beg for their acceptance, not to prove your worth, not to fight to stay in places that were already pushing you out. You chose to walk away, to leave the battlefield, to take back every ounce of love, of kindness, of energy you poured into people who never deserved it in the first place. And what happened when you left? Silence. The silence you once filled became unbearable. The stability you provided disappeared. The very peace they had rejected was now the one thing they craved. But it was too late. Because peace is not something you can take for granted. It's not something you can betray and expect to find again. They turned to their distractions, their old habits, their old ways. But nothing filled the void, because chaos is loud, but it is empty. And without you, they had nothing but noise. They searched for you in other people, in fleeting moments, in places they thought could bring them the calm they once had. But what they didn't realize was that the peace they lost, it wasn't just something you gave, it was you. And they lost you forever. You walked away not in anger, but in freedom. Because real peace is not just about staying calm in the storm. It's about knowing when to walk away. From the ones who created, you no longer needed their validation. You no longer sought their approval. You had rebuilt yourself, not in their image, not for their acceptance, but for you. You became stronger, wiser. You found a peace that no one could take from you, and as you moved forward, you realized something powerful. The greatest act of revenge is not hatred. It is indifference. It is living well. It is thriving. It is never looking back. And as for them, they will never know peace again. Because they had it once, and they destroyed it. They will search endlessly for something to replace what they lost, but they will never find it. Not in people, not in places, not in distractions. Because the peace you gave them, it wasn't just something you provided, it was you. And you are untouchable now. So now you stand in the light of your own strength. The world turned its back on you, but that was the beginning, not the end. That was the moment you stepped into your real journey. One where you no longer sought acceptance from those who could never understand your worth. You are free, free from their chaos, free from their destruction. And that freedom, that is your victory, because you have something they will never have again. Peace, real peace. And that is priceless.